Yo, it's Herman here, and by now you've probably heard of a little Netflix show called Arcane made by this small company called Riot Games. But seriously, if you haven't watched it yet, you've got to go and check it out because there was so much hype for the show, and honestly, I think it was well deserved. Even if you don't play the game League of Legends, the animation in the show was just world class and it was pure eye candy from start to finish. Now, being into insane visuals myself, I wanted to break down some of the effects that they use so that not only can I use them in future projects that are suitable, but also share them with you so that you can use them as well. Now, there are 3 effects that caught my eye, and during the more intense moments surrounding the character Jinx, they would even combine several effects to really create this dramatic effect. So I kind of reversed engineered and recreated some of the assets to create a project template where you can literally just drag and drop some footage and make some sick transitions like this. Now, the link to the project file will be in the description below, so you can go ahead and download that before following along. But let's hop over to After Effects and see how it all works. So at this point, you have launched the After Effects project file. Now, before you do so though, I want to advise you, please read the README document first and read through the license agreement before you open this up and start using it. It's basically just saying you can't pretend that this is yours and like go and like sell this template out or anything like that. Don't be that kind of person and don't do that. I'll find out. But once this is open, basically, as you can see, it's nice and organized, or at least as organized as I could make it, unlike my background. A bit of a mess back there. You can see that Christmas tree's been there for like five years now. But here it's pretty straightforward. You have some main comps over here, and they have the 3 effects that are provided and done for you. And you can just open them up, and these are the compositions that you will render out. So you can render it from here. Same for this film roll transition and this doodle effect transition as well. Now, the folder underneath you can ignore, and then 3 over here is footage, and there's nothing in there, but that's, you know, just for you to keep things nice and tidy when you import your footage. In this case, I'm going to use some stock footage that I got from Artgrid, not sponsored by them, by the way, but they've got a pretty good selection of footage. So I'm just going to import that in, and I'll put that into the footage folder for me to use as an example in a bit. And for the assets, you can ignore these as well, except for this doodle animation render. We'll go over that when we get to that section. And then over here at number 5 is an important one. It is called replace footage. And basically in these compositions, all you have to do is just double click them, and then you will be putting your footage in here. So I'm going to go through the effects one by one, starting off with the stretch flash transition. So in order to do so, I'm just going to close these other tabs over here, and I'm just going to start from scratch. I'm just going to start like from the very beginning over here. You just open up the project file. What do you do? First thing you want to do is go into your replace footage. We're going to go for the stretch flash footage replace composition. Ooh, that's a bit of a mouthful. And in here, as you can see, there's nothing in here except this marker over here that says transition point. And this is basically, as the marker implies, where you want the transition to happen. So I'm going to bring some footage in. I'm going to use 2 clips. So let's use this guy over here is playing the guitar. Okay, we'll just, I don't know, just put in some random moment, this in and out point, and just throw it over here. So this is clip A. Okay, this is the clip that is before the transition. And let's say that, you know, I'm going to move it a little bit like that. This feels a little bit better. Okay, I know this is just an example and it doesn't matter, but sometimes I can be a little bit picky. We're going to use another moment like over here. Let's just say starting from here and then all the way over here. We're going to put that in as well. So these are your 2 clips, right? We're going to transition from this shot to this shot. That's all there really is to it in terms of what you have to do. You just go to the main comp, which is the stretch flash transition, and everything's already done for you. All you have to do is open up that comp and then play it back and see if you're happy with the results. Ooh, that is spicy. If you're happy with this, all you gotta do is just render this out as you normally would in After Effects by hitting the shortcut Control M. So you add it into your render queue, and then you just render it out how you normally would. That's how you basically use this template. It's that easy. You just drag and drop your footage, and then you just export the main comp. I'm gonna show you with another effect over here, the film roll transition. So this is the main comp that you will be rendering, not where you're gonna be placing your footage. Remember, you wanna go to your replace footage, and then go to the film roll footage replace. We open that up, and you can see there's that transition point marker. So we're going to use some different footage just to have some variety and see what it looks like. So we're going to put maybe this dancer looking into the camera, very intimate, and we're going to just put that over here. And then we want the second clip to happen, I don't know, I guess like right when she kicks. Put that in, and then basically it will be from this shot to this shot. So we now go to the film roll transition, which is the main comp under the main comps over here. So I'll double click that, and we will play this back and see if we're happy with it. And that is the effect. The difference between the 2 is that although it's using some grungy textures and a bit of like this flash happening, it makes it look like it's kind of like a film roll that's just like scrolling by, if you know what I mean, right? So you can see these kind of dividing lines. It's a quicker transition. And then the one over here, the stretch flash transition, just like, you know, inspired by the effects that I saw in Arcane during the scenes that involve Jinx, some portions kind of stretch left and right a little bit. And then there's this chromatic aberration, this RGB split. So this stretch flash transition is a little more intense than the film roll transition. And then finally, we have the Doodle Effect. Now this one isn't necessarily a transition, but you can use it as a transition. In this case, you'll notice that in the replace footage, there's no Doodle replace comp. And that's because all you have to do is just go over here. There's already one overlay that is slapped on top, and you can just use this marker as a transition point for you to put your clips in between. So I'm going to, you know, go back to this. I'll just copy and paste this just to show you what this looks like. So this is how you can use it as a transition. You have this cool doodle effect, very similar to the Jinx scenes, but I know you're thinking this is a little bit lackluster compared to the other ones. And that's because I'm allowing a bit of customization for this effect because I actually hand drew a few doodle animations and I pre-rendered them, which is also in this project. If you go into assets and remember this folder that I said that I would talk about later, now is the time. Doodle animation renders will have a few clips where you can see is some doodles like that you can literally drag and drop over your footage and just play with the blending modes to get something desirable. And I'll just do like a really rough example for now. So let's say, you know, let's put like some angry eyes on her. And you're gonna want to change the blending mode to something like screen so that we can have the brighter parts of the image show through and the blacks transparent. So we go to mode over here and then click screen, and then now it's see-through. And then we hit S to bring up the scale, and we can scale that down so that it matches, you know, her eyes. And if you ever want to, you know, make adjustments, it's how you normally would for After Effects. You can just rotate it like that. So that can just be like a really brief moment that comes up, right? So like angry eyes, we can even do like angry teeth. So we're gonna drag and drop that just like we did earlier. Screen, and then just do that, rotation, boom, something like that. And this can signify, you know, showing her how she feels, her inner consciousness. She's actually angry during this performance. Maybe not, but find a suitable scenario where you can use this. Quick tip though, is if your subject is moving around, like their face is moving around, then in this case, because she's staying like near the same area of the composition, I don't need to really do anything. But let's say they're like moving their head around a lot, then what you can do is just track it in After Effects and then parent these animations to the track. Now, I'm not gonna go over how to, you know, the nitty-gritties on how to do that because that's not what this tutorial is about, but you can search up tracking in After Effects and you can track these animations to the person's face. As you can see, I've got some more overlays, some jagged lines, some scribbly lines to show like they're really like, you know, jumbled thoughts or like really dizzy. And then we got that transition earlier. We even got this question mark and this straight line that you can use as well to like cross over something. So there's a nice variety that you can choose from. And as an example, I even made this really quick TikTok video to overlay it and try it out. And this is what it looks like. And once you're happy with this effect, just like the previous ones, all you gotta do is hit Control M so you add it into the render queue and then render it out as you normally would. That is it, guys. That is how you use the template that I made, and I think you're gonna have a lot of fun using it. It's a great way to show like an unstable frame of mind for a character, or just as sick transitions in your music videos. I even made a TikTok using the project template. Regardless, I hope you enjoy it, and let me know in the comments what you thought about the show Arcane. And if you haven't watched it yet, then let me know what you plan to do with the effects and transitions. Now, if you like this template, then do me a huge favor and smash the like button so that the YouTube algorithm gods will know that it's a good video. And also let me know that it's a good video so I can keep making stuff like this. And of course, subscribe and hit the bell notification if you want to see more videos like this. My socials are in the description below, so if you want to see what I'm up to, you can just check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.